That's one small step for a man, one giant leap for mankind. I like to think of ideas as potential energy. They're really wonderful, but nothing will happen until we risk putting them into action. The stars don't look bigger, but they do look brighter. You are just your intelligence. I tell students that the opportunities I had were a result of having a good educational background. Education is what allows you to stand out. Ultimately, leadership is not about glorious crowning acts. It's about keeping your team focused on a goal and motivated to do their best to achieve it, especially when the stakes are high and the consequences really matter. It is about laying the groundwork for others' success and then standing back and letting them shine. Hey, Sky, take off your hat. I'm on my way. There may be aliens in our Milky Way galaxy, and there are billions of other galaxies. The probability is almost certain that there is life somewhere in space. I touch the future. I teach. I could have gone on flying through space forever. There are people who make things happen. There are people who watch things happen, and there are people who wonder what happened. To be successful, you need to be a person who makes things happen. It's a very sobering feeling to be up in space and realize that one's safety factor was determined by the lowest bidder on a government contract. There is still no cure for the common birthday. You develop an instant global consciousness, a people orientation, an intense dissatisfaction with the state of the world, and a compulsion to do something about it. From out there on the moon, international politics looks so petty. If I could talk to my younger self, I would just say that the path to great things is filled with a lot of stumbles, suffering, and challenges along the way. But if you have the right attitude and know that hard times will pass, and you get up each time, you will reach your destination. I like to say I'm determined. Some people would call it stubborn. It depends on your perspective. Father, we thank you, especially for letting me fly this flight, for the privilege of being able to be in this position, to be in this wondrous place, seeing all these many startling, wonderful things that you have created. Do good work. Exploration is really the essence of the human spirit. I am humbled and excited by new opportunities for me to support and share the amazing work NASA is doing to help us travel farther into the solar system and work with the next generation of science and technology leaders. We certainly would not be here, living and working on the International Space Station, without the commitment and dedication of all the folks who worked the Mercury, Gemini, and Apollo programs, as well as the Russian space program. On Earth, men are seen as superior because of their physical strength, but it means nothing in space, where there is no gravity. I've always enjoyed traveling and having experience with different cultures and different people, but it's also a wonderful thing to be able to benefit and enable research, not only in our country, but around the world. There are many experiments and a great deal of research that can be performed on the station that make a difference in our lives, and we are committed to supporting this important vocation. Most kids probably dream of becoming an astronaut. I was just the one that never grew out of it. The moon is very rugged. The James Webb Space Telescope was specifically designed to see the first stars and galaxies that were formed in the universe. I believe in persevering. If you persevere, success lies ahead of you. The Earth reminded us of a Christmas tree ornament hanging in the blackness of space. As we got farther and farther away, it diminished in size. Finally, it shrank to the size of a marble, the most beautiful marble you can imagine. Curiosity is the essence of human existence. Who are we? Where are we? Where are we? Where do we come from? Where are we going? I don't know. I don't have any answers to those questions. I don't know what's over there around the corner, but I want to find out. With so much conflict in the world, space exploration can be a beacon of hope. Yes, we have ruined the Earth and have done an exceptionally good job of it. Yes. We should look at sustainable development, but we cannot afford to do things sequentially, but parallelly, and make sure that we do not repeat our mistakes. As always, we prepare for all sorts of contingencies, and the first few days of the flight up until docking on day 3 are all spent really in the rendezvous, because we launch at a time that puts us in an optimal position to catch up to station. My walk on the moon lasted 3 days. My walk with God will last forever. As you look back at your life, there are just a million different things that have happened, just in the right way, to allow you to make your dreams come true. And you know, someone has all that under control. Science does not just drive space travel. Space travel also drives science. Basically, all my life I'd been told, you can't do that because you're female. So I guess I just didn't pay any attention. I just went ahead and did what I could, and then, when the stars aligned, I was ready. The greatest enemy of progress is the illusion of knowledge. Most of our history in space has been communicated in terms of action, what people do, a chronological list of events which have transpired, as opposed to the human experience of having done those things. When you see the orbiter headed out the launch pad and then crawling up the hill and being hard down on the pad, it does something to you. When you work really hard for something for a long time, it's almost impossible to believe that it's coming true. It's only when you're flying above it that you realize how incredible the Earth really is. When a man looks across a street, sees a pretty girl, and waves at her, that's not a rendezvous. That's a passing acquaintance. When he walks across the street and nibbles on her ear, that's a rendezvous. I feel very privileged to be part of this mission, and when my nomination was announced, I was really very, very, very happy to be selected for this mission. And obviously, as one who likes to travel around myself a lot, I think the Earth is a beautiful place, and I'm looking forward to some new perspectives. The theory of groups is a branch of mathematics in which one does something to something and then compares the result with the result obtained from doing the same thing to something else, or something else to the same thing. We're not passengers on spaceship Earth. We're the crew. As a military pilot and a test pilot, handling unusual situations and aircraft malfunctions was part of the business. At that point, there will be the handover between the shuttle arm and the station arm so that the shuttle arm will take the cradle and put it into the cargo bay. One of my favorite places on the planet is a place in northern Michigan, Long Lake in Traverse City.